Yeah, yeah, sure.
Hi, Sahil. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
A pleasure here as well. Sahil is representing MetaBuilder, a company who is specializing in building 3D avatars for other 3D metaverse companies and whoever needs this sort of service. So I will dive right into the main topics we would like to discuss. But first, if you would like to introduce yourself, what is your background in the Web 3.0 and blockchain and technology in general?
Right, sure. So it began mostly in early 2020 when I first got into crypto and investing into crypto. And it all started off with being purchasing Ethereum in a centralized exchange based in the country, and then slowly, steadily reading about what Ethereum is about, what Bitcoin is about, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of things on the way about different decentralized exchanges. And it all started from investing. We all start from investing, and got really into different communities, started talking to different people from different communities. And one of the first community which I was part of, I was very lucky to be part of, was a venture capital. It was
Okay.
a community. It was a community venture capital. So what we used to do is we used to invest into early startup, crypto startups, and help them with incubation and business development. And it was a really nice journey with them. I learned a lot of things along the way.
Yeah, early
And
investing in crypto startups is usually the best way to go, always.
that is right. The way
Yeah.
the tokenomics work is like starts off with the smallest price when you're in a venture capital, or you can call IDOs, people who
Yes.
participate in IDOs. They are the ones who are really early into the game, and they really take advantage of the tokenomics model, and that's how the generative space works. So I was really lucky to be a part of a venture capital like that before, and that gave me a broad understanding and overview of how we should actually look into investing in crypto if you really want to take that high risk to reward ratio.
Yeah.
And so it was a good time there. And then I became part of other few projects as a content writer. I work
Okay.
with mhm. I work with few of the digital identity companies out there and KYC compliance companies out there, and really worked with Web3 and digital identity. How digital identity will be there on Web3, and how we'll have a whole new infrastructure for digital identity. Also, I was a part of a few of the Web3 gaming projects out there, especially a few of the gaming guilds. And those are the people who were really bringing in Metaverse, Web3 gaming, and gaming guilds from the blockchain perspective of it. So that's
Yeah.
basically my background for Web3 and Metaverse. Yeah.
Cool. What did you learn from your experience as a tech entrepreneur or innovator, and like especially from this experience you mentioned of advising other startups in their incubation stage of the project? Do you have
Mhm.
anything to share?
Right. I believe a lot of projects out there trying to emerge and take advantage of this, gold rush what's happening right now. So
Yes.
there are a lot of developers developing every single day, working really hard. And from my experience being a part of the venture capital was we worked directly with developers who were very good developers, but they had very less marketing knowledge. They didn't know how to go out there, showcase their product or their project. And being a venture capital, we not only invested in strategic partnership, but we helped them through business development. So there were specific ways we used to help them in business development,
Yeah,
which actually
that's
brought them
that's like also
there.
a way of protecting your investment, right? Helping them with the business development part as well.
Of course, Of
Yes.
course, because it's more about collaboration, right? So it's not that we'll give you money and you work on your own. Like we were really in contact with
Yeah.
them and on a daily basis, like what should be the way we should go and with the project and the roadmap. And I think I won't be the best person to give any advice to any emerging tech entrepreneurs out there. But
Yeah.
one thing for sure is I would like to advise is uh, collaboration is very important in this space since it's a very nascent space right now. So talking to different people and collaborating is one way you can really go forward in this space, right?
Yeah, it's true. Otherwise, the Web3 revolution won't be what it is planned if everybody just builds their separate world, but these worlds don't converge at some point, and you can't do that without collaboration. It's true. That's why I'm very happy to meet you. Um, so what would you say is the blockchain and the metaverse according to you? Because everybody talks about these, they are buzz terms, but people are still sometimes confused about, okay, but what exactly is it?
Right, right. So I believe blockchain is nothing but a distributed ledger. It's a ledger
Yes.
distributed to different people where everyone keeps track of the records and everyone maintains the records and everyone is incentivized to maintain the record, right? So it is really revolutionary because I believe it's peer to peer rather than a central entity controlling the data on its own. So blockchain really brings that revolutionary aspect of maintaining data. And one of the best part of blockchain, which I believe is immutability. So the data is immutable, right? So if there's a transaction out there and it's there on the blockchain, it's gonna be there on the blockchain. It's not gonna change. No one can alter it. So I
Yeah.
think mhm, mhm. So I think blockchain is a really revolutionary product out there, and it's really disrupting various aspects of our day-to-day lives. And if you talk about metaverse, I believe it's like a 3D version of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So as Mark Zuckerberg in his recent announcement of Facebook changing to Meta, he said that it will be like an embodied internet where instead of we watching the screens all day long to access the internet, we will be inside the internet. You know, it will be like an immersive environment, a 3D immersive environment where you will be having VR or Google Glasses maybe to have that AR VR experience of an internet which we have never experienced before. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's which I think when someone talks about metaverse. Mhm.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're definitely at the dawn of a new age. Perhaps in time we'll even add other senses, like in 7D cinemas where you feel other things besides the 3D glasses, like a mist of pain or smell or touch, and who knows where we'll get.
Exactly. Mhm.
So how do you see the metaverse in the near future, like for the next 3 years, let's say?
Right. So currently, there's a lot of projects coming out, and there's a lot of developments going on in the space. And currently, if you talk about the next 3 years, I believe metaverse is going to disrupt the gaming sector because that is
Yeah,
something which has been happening, and a lot of metaverse projects out there target for that gamify aspect of social trade interactions. Right. If you talk about games like Fortnite, PUBG, those are somewhat a interpretation of a metaverse where there are 100 people together fighting for a battle royale. It's somewhat a representation of a metaverse world where people are actually living out there. So I believe that's where metaverse is going to disrupt in the next 3 years, and slow and steady will move forward from there.
yeah.
Mhm.
So how about on the longer term, in the more distant future? What role do you think the metaverse will play in human lives?
Right, sure. So if you look into a few of the projects out there like Sandbox or Roadblocks out there, Snoop Dogg recently has
Yeah.
invested. yeah, that's amazing, And he has his events out there, and even for Roblox, if I say, and Nike has their Nike Land on Roblox. So it's
Yeah,
basically, yeah, so it's basically a virtual space where Nike has its own virtual store where you can go buy virtual Nike goods. Of course, you can't wear them in real life, but if you talk about generations, if you talk about Gen Z or Gen Alpha, those are the people who are really interested in virtual products out there. And
yeah,
I believe with collaborations with big tech companies, big corporations coming in early right now, I think it's gonna be a whole different aspect. Everyone is gonna be there in the metaverse, whether you like it or not. Um, let's just give you an example of social media. Social media just happened to us, We didn't
yeah.
expect social media to happen to us, right? It's
True,
going to happen with
true.
metaverse. It's just going to happen to us. It's like the neighboring people, your friends will be started using Google Glasses at least 2 hours every day, and using Google Glasses 2 hours every day will be like a normal stuff, and people will actually get involved a lot in metaverse, and big investments will be coming into the metaverse, and people will be more keen in buying virtual products first, then they will go for the physical products. Okay, let me give you an example for that. Let's suppose there's a let's suppose Gap, Gap, like they have their virtual products out there in the metaverse. You go to their Gap metaverse store and you check out their latest merch. First you see their augmented version of their virtual clothes or their virtual
Yeah,
accessories, and you sitting home there, you decide, okay, whether this would fit me or not, and then you actually go by. So I think there's a lot of areas.
potential. Yeah. Actually, Amazon just announced like last night that they are giving customers their an option to try out shoes virtually. Like you just point your phone to your feet and you can see how a model of shoes would look on your feet, and you can move and check them from various angles. So, and Vogue is also doing some very interesting things in the fashion Web3 business with the option, like when you buy a piece of high-end clothing, like really famous brands, you also have them digitally for your avatar in the metaverse when it comes to that. So yeah, you're right.
Like
In first in gaming and then in fashion, it's very likely that the metaverse will become highly applicable.
you call it gaming, you call it fashion, you call it retail, e-commerce, social
Yeah,
media. Like metaverse
true.
is going to be huge for social media, right? So I think there's a lot of application throughout the next 5 to 6, 10 years, I guess, and
Yeah,
we'll see a lot of happening, right?
true. Okay,
Mhm.
what is your metaverse project doing? Tell us
Right.
about your own project.
Yeah, so we are basically a project that wants to help other metaverse projects out there. So
Okay.
I have been doing a lot of research in the metaverse space, and one thing that I came across was my analysis. Like a lot of metaverse projects out there lack in 3D custom models out there. Like there are different aspects metaverse they build, but if a metaverse is empty, they don't have enough 3D models. If a customer goes into that metaverse and sees like there's so many places there is missing for 3D models, that is something would be really disappointing for the customer, right? So what
Yeah.
we are trying to do here is we are trying to help other metaverse projects out there, and by providing them 3D custom models out there. And it's not just having a 3D custom model out there. So let's suppose you are a metaverse project and you collaborate with us. We will be providing you 3D custom character models, which you can list there as metaverse NFTs. And we also provide an extra service, which is augmented reality version of it. So if you are in your metaverse and you have your digital metaverse NFT bought from us, you will also have an augmented version of that. So you have if you buy our NFT and then you list it on your metaverse. You can have like that same NFT on your phone or augmented version. So let's suppose you buy one of our NFTs, and you have the augmented version of it. What you can do is you can just switch on your phone, and then click on it, and that 3D model from your metaverse is now sitting on your table in an
Awesome.
augmented version. In an
Yeah.
augmented version.
Yeah.
So I believe not restricting yourself to just metaverse and having those products pop out in real life. So if you
Yeah.
have a, let's suppose Snoop Dogg's land in Sandbox, what if there is a whole augmented version of it where he can actually project it out there on an open field? That's going to be amazing, right? So I
Yeah.
believe what we are trying to do here is we are trying to ship 3D metaverse NFTs for different projects, and also help them with augmented reality version of it, and help collaborate in such way. Yeah.
Sounds
Mhm.
amazing. So, why do you think this is like the right historical moment for your metaverse project? I mean, for me, it's pretty clear just from your description, but if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Right. Right now, what we are seeing is like there's so much happening in the space. Like people are developing so fast, and not a lot of people know about this space. So, like you and me
True.
talking, right? We are very, very, very early into the space, and like this is the right moment. We should be actually, be very tunnel vision into what we are building, and since we are early into the game, uh, we will be able to dodge a lot of competitors which might have the same ideas later on. So
Yeah.
I believe it's a very historical moment for me and for other projects out there to actually go out there and build and have this whole inflow of things coming into the space, and so that everyone is collaborating and having a very good time together and building a great future of metaverse together. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about the metaverse as we foresee it now, or the Web3 in general? Let's call it more broadly. What do you like most about what we can foresee right now? Because of course it can take other shapes as it progresses.
Right. My personal favorite is event organization. So we know event organizing in the offline world, right?
Yeah.
So there's a virtual aspect of it in the metaverse, which really fascinates me because let's just go back again to the Snoop Dogg's
Sure.
sandbox again. So let's suppose Snoop Dogg is having a concert offline, right?
Yeah.
How many people are going to be there? Like hardly there have been there a few thousand people out there, a few hundred people out there
Yeah.
watching him live, right?
Yeah.
What if the same thing happens in Sandbox? Now we have a million people watching Snoop Dogg perform live. So I think that's revolutionary when you talk about event management. So like now the event, the barrier of entry, the geographical barrier of entry is is cut down drastically. Now a lot of people can actually get involved with events sitting right there in their home, without worrying about the physical space nearby. And I think right now the event management space in the metaverse is something which really, really fascinates me because it has a lot of
Yeah.
viewership out there.
Yeah, true. I've even seen like did you know about the ABBA concert? Their glorious reunification, whatever. It was really interesting because it took place in a physical venue, so it was an offline event, but on the stage and everywhere were projections of them, like metaverse avatars doing the singing. So I guess we will see more such mixed forms from now on, since you brought up concerts in the metaverse.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
what do you think about metaverse investments in general? As you said, it's a bit of a gold rush, but that also comes with some risks and opportunities. What is your take on these?
Of course. Of course, there is risk with metaverse because we're super, super early into the space. But for anyone who wants to invest into metaverse lands, I personally haven't invested much in any metaverse lands out there. That's just me, But I did a lot of research on how to invest and how to go about the analysis on how to invest in metaverse. What I personally believe is like we should really look into influences out there. So if
Influencers. Okay.
right. So let's suppose Roblox, let's suppose Nike Land. Just by having a small piece of land near like Nike Land will increase a lot of value for your that plot of land, because Nike has a lot of fan following out there, and Nike buying that piece of land in the metaverse, the nearby land value automatically pumps up as it happens everywhere, even in the real estate physical industry, like the real estate which are actually valuable, the plots nearby actually goes up in value the same time.
Yeah.
So I believe influencers out there who are having, if you really want to invest in metaverse lands, look into the project and then look into how influencers are looking into that project, and be be very careful with your investments and do aggressive research. Don't listen to any YouTuber saying out there like
Yeah.
go buy the tomorrow morning. Like it's not gonna happen. They're just doing it for views. So doing a lot of research is something very, very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah. How about metaverse projects in general, not just lands in the metaverse, just I don't know, startups, since you worked in this niche before.
Right, right. Yeah, so investing in metaverse projects also needs a lot of research, and we have to really dive deep into what are their roadmap is, what they're building, and especially what problems they're solving. Like we have so many metaverse projects out there; they're just replicas of each other, right? And you
Yeah.
shouldn't fall for any metaverse which is already being replicated. You should really see how active the team is, what is their vision, what is their background, and whether the team is doxed or not, what are their connections, and what are mainly what the problem are they're solving, and how that problem is going to shape your investments or the future together. So yeah, a lot of research in that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. The team is very important, and the way they are using influencer marketing or not.
Mhm.
So what would be your bottom line advice for like small and mid-scale investors who are looking at crypto or blockchain and the metaverse as options for the first time? Let's say they haven't invested in this space before.
Right. So I believe the best investment you can do is invest in the knowledge first. I think
Okay.
a lot of people out there, they listen to their friends or family that they're investing, and they just FOMO in, like blindly without even doing research. So I believe studying a lot before investing into something is very, very important. First, learn what the technology is, or how is it revolutionary, how is it disrupting so many sectors out there, and
Yeah.
then slowly start learning about layer one protocols out there. What are layer ones? What are layer ones doing? What are layer twos? What are layer threes? There are different aspects of going diving deep into the crypto rabbit hole, right? So
Yeah.
the, for the best advice, if someone is getting really really early, stick to Bitcoin, read about Bitcoin. And I
Okay.
started Bitcoin. I started with Bitcoin. I study a lot of Bitcoin. If you see here, there's a book here, the Bitcoin Study Guide.
Cool.
I'm currently reading this book. It's
Yeah.
by Nawaz, and it's a brilliant book out there. And that's whole perspective changes when you learn about Bitcoin, and slow and steady metaverse trading will everything will come together.
So you're in it for the long term, like slow and steady. So you weren't very disappointed when Bitcoin dropped recently.
Not at all. I'm really
Okay.
happy because this is the time when I scoop up the dip, just scoop
Yep,
the dip.
buy the dip. True.
Right. Uh,
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers and readers?
Right. I would like to say, like, really, really happy talking to you, and for everyone watching out there. We are here trying to help, want to collaborate with different metaverse projects out there. Our company name is MetaBuild, and
Yes.
we are looking for collaborations out there, and we'll be really, really happy to work together.
Okay, noted. We will look forward to promoting you on our channels as well and see where this takes all of us. Thank you again for your time, Sahil, and have a great day.
You, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.